Hi friend, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name's Kat. Today I am completely stealing an idea from Annette's makeup corner. So Annette, thank you very much. I will have her YouTube linked down in the description box. She's one of my favorite content creators on this platform, and this is basically, rather than doing like a new makeup releases, because although I find those videos to watch really entertaining, I'm not really like a beauty news channel or anything like that, and I don't follow all the new releases as well. So the way that Annette does it and the way that I'm going to do it is 5 things that I think are really good releases, and 5/4, because I couldn't find 5 things that I think are really bad releases. So it's like the best and the worst of new releases. I like that sort of concept a bit better than just talking about things, because sometimes I find I can't talk enough about things. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think it's better to just limit it to those things and take it from there. I'm also using the microphone on the camera instead of my phone, which is what I usually do, because I'm going to use my phone to look at the things that I'm talking about. So if the sound sounds worse than it usually does, that's why. So let me scooch over so I can put some pictures in, and let's start with the top 5, because I have 5 that I really like, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I don't. So let us work our way through these. The first thing that I am incredibly excited for is the new collaboration with Betty Jean, Beauty Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. If you don't know Betty Jean, get to know. She is my favorite content creator on this platform. I love her videos because her videos are very tutorial focused and like get ready with me focused and things like that, and that's what I truly love. I love tutorials. So I absolutely love her content and I love her as a person. She's super sweet. She's very like spooky, kind of gothy, but not really, like very bright but dark makeup, very grungy. She's just amazing. I really adore her, and she is now coming up with a collaboration with Shroud Cosmetics, who did the very famous Creepy Cute palette, if you know that one, and they are coming out with the It's Freaking Bats palette, which it's freaking bats. I love Halloween. It's honestly stunning. This color story, it's like green and teal and purple with like the pop of periwinkle. It's honestly like absolutely stunning. I'm going to be pre-ordering this, and I'm also going to get the Arcana palette at the same time because I really want both, and that's pretty much like my whole budget for the month for beauty. But it'll be 2 things that I'm genuinely really excited about and think that I will really love, and I'm so happy for Betty Jean. I'm so proud of her, and it's been really exciting watching her just like grow and grow and grow. Very exciting. It's also really cool to see like a Halloween themed palette that's not just like red and mustard yellow and orange and black. So that's really cool to see. I really love this color story, and I'm very excited to see her do loads of looks with it, and it's just very pretty. The next few are things that I'm not gonna buy, but like I genuinely think are really nice, and I'm really, you know, when I saw the releases I was like ooh, and I've watched like loads of videos about them and stuff. And the first one is the Nomad Cosmetics Cartagena Magica palette. I think, am I making that too accenty? I don't know. But this is a eyeshadow palette. It's a £15 palette, and I'm so intrigued by Nomad Cosmetics. I would love to try something from them, but they are just a little bit steep. But I love this color story. I'm a real sucker for like bright yellows and oranges and pinks together. Like I really love it. And although this is a very summery release, I feel like this is something that was supposed to be released in June or July, but got held back because of the world. But I feel like it's still really gorgeous, and there are some tones in there you could play with that could get you like more of an autumnal look, but again, makeup isn't seasonal. You can wear it whenever you want, so it's fine. Someone could tell me what like the imprint is on like the first 3 shades in the palette, because I can't tell what that animal is supposed to be. The next one that I'm also excited about, again, will not be purchasing, but I think it's a really cool release, is actually the new Pat McGrath holiday collection. And I don't know what it is about this, but I think it's really beautiful. It's not, I don't care about the lipsticks or anything like that. It's just that eyeshadow palette. It's so glitzy. And I know it's like mostly shimmer, so it's not as if it's like a standalone palette that you can really do a lot of like looks with. But I think it's so pretty, and I don't know what it is. I think it's like the greens and the purples, and then there's like that blurple at the top, and the dusty rosy pink as well. Like, it's just like stunning. I don't know what it is about it that, and just like the swatches as well, like they all just look so like wet and sparkly and glittery, and I just they look delicious. But I would never buy a palette. I mean, this eyeshadow palette is $78 instead of her like, I think it's like 130. But the eyeshadow pans are smaller, which is fine because it takes a very long time to get through an eyeshadow anyway, so you don't need massive giant pans of eyeshadow. But again, this is not something I'm going to be buying, but I think it's a really beautiful release and I think it's really special. But I'm not going to be buying it. The next one that I was really excited about as well is Cash Beauty. Kaylee MUA, if you don't know who she is. She has brought out her own brand. Why did that take me so... like, it's 8 o'clock, I've worked all day, I'm tired. So my brain is like working very slowly, so just give me a break. She has brought out her own makeup line called Cash Beauty, and she has released an eyeshadow palette and 3 lipsticks. There are also some false eyelashes, but I don't wear false eyelashes. I've tried, I cannot do it. I just don't have the talent for false eyelashes. But I think this is such a nice release. It's like a really grungy, rusty neutral palette, which usually neutral palettes don't excite me, but the tones in it are so nice. Those like mustards and the oranges, they're my kind of neutrals. And I actually have her collaboration that she did with Sosu, so I won't be picking this up because it does have some very similar tones in. However, it is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm very tempted by her lipsticks in Rose Nude and Rust Nude. They are really, really, really pretty. I just think it's really cool when you see influencers who really have like worked themselves to the bone, create such a cool concept, and it's not boring. Personally, I don't think it's boring. I think it's a really cool release, and I'm really excited to see what else she comes out with. And then the last one on my list of exciting releases is one that I have actually bought, and it is the new Beauty Bay pastel eyeliners. So you can buy them all individually or you can buy them in sets. I bought the 2 sets and they were £12.50 each. I had a £10 off voucher for Beauty Bay, so I got all of these for £15. I just have been wanting like light eyeliners for the waterline. I like bright eyeliners, but I don't like dark eyeliners. And I find that the eyeliners that I have, I do really like. Sometimes I'm having to mix them with a white, and this just removes that need for me. And there is like a gorgeous peach and a really nice baby pink and a lavender and that like pale yellow. Perfect. It's like what I've been looking for ages. I wanted to get that Colourpop pastel liner collection, but one, it sold out really quick, and two, all the reviews were pretty shit. So I'm glad I didn't, but I'm hoping that this will fill that void for me. And there's something that I'm going to use all the time. And it's also, again, just really cool to see beauty brands. Oh my god, I need to go to bed. Beauty Bay's brand expand. I really like their line. I hated their pastel palette, that was horrific, but everything else I've bought from the Beauty Bay own brand line I have really enjoyed, and everyone seems to like their collaborations that they do as well. I'm really gutted that I missed out on the Mama Mitchell palette because that was so gorgeous, and it's such a shame that they've discontinued it. But I'm really excited for these pastel liners to arrive because I think I'm going to use them to death. Okay, let's move on to the 4 that I don't like. I'm surprised that I struggled to find 4 because they were just like, I didn't want to just take things that like I didn't care about. I wanted to find things I could genuinely rip the piss out of. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the new Kat Von D, KVD Vegan Beauty Glam Rock Shade and Light Eyeshadow Quad. So, when are they going to release a nice one of these little eyeshadow palettes? It feels like every time they're in the boardroom, like deciding what color story they want to do for this, it's like, how could we make this like really impractical and ugly? And the thing is as well, like if you can see in the screenshot that I've taken, on the left hand side, it's got like a bronzy shimmer and then a white, but in the actual picture, the brown is a matte. So I don't understand that. But my problem with this, right, I think those 2 shimmers look really beautiful. But how the fuck are you supposed to use that really dark blue without some sort of dark brown? That is my qualm. Because if you use like that really pale transition shade and then that like terracotta orangey brown to deepen up the crease, you're still going to have really dark blue on the lid, or however you're going to, it just feels like there's not enough. And I know it's only 4 shades, I understand that they're limited, but they could have not had that massive shit, like really pale shade, and then had, you know, that as the terracotta, and then like a really dark chocolate brown. And then that would have actually made this like fully functional, because I guarantee if anyone buys this palette, all they're going to use are the beige, the terracotta and that gold, because they're going to think, what am I supposed to do with this blue? Do you know what I mean? Am I being really picky? I don't know. I just feel like these palettes always miss the mark. Always. Right. We have a lot to unpack here, so let's get comfortable. The Makeup Revolution and Friends collaboration. What the fuck? What the fuck? It is so ugly. First of all, packaging is horrible. That mirror looks like, do you remember Funky Friends? Do you remember Funky Friends that you used to have when you were like 10 and everything had the 3 little girls on it and everything was purple and yellow? Does that not look like it's Funky Friends?
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's so bad. I hate it. I remember watching a video that was like all about this collection. It was like a full face first impressions, and they were like, oh my god, it's so cool because I love Friends. And I was just like, oh. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Friends. I will watch it. Do I think it's the best TV show in the world? Absolutely fucking not. Do I think it is aged poorly? Absolutely fucking yes. The only thing I'll say I like is the makeup bag with the lobsters on. And even then I don't like it because it's got the Friends and Revolution thing on. I haven't even said what's in this collection. Right, let's work our way through. So you've got 3 mini eyeshadow palettes for Rachel, Phoebe and Monica. And then you've got a lipstick for each of them. And then you've got a lip gloss for every character. And then there's like a giant palette that's got everyone in apparently. And then they have scrunchies and makeup bags and the mirror. It's just really bad. It's just really bad. And the eyeshadow palettes are awful. Like, they are not inclusive at all. The Phoebe one is all like baby pinks and light and like peaches. And then they've got the Monica one, which is again pinks. And then the Rachel one is again pinks with one dark brown, but on the model that they swatched it, and she's like a medium skin tone, the brown blends into her skin. And the giant palette is so ugly. The color scheme is completely uncohesive and it's just rank. And I know that that palette is like tin as well, which also is just like, it just looks cheap. All of it looks cheap, really cheap. Which for a collaboration with Friends, you would think that they would maybe up the budget a little bit. Like what the, come on, this Comic Sans mess? People spent their money on this Comic Sans mess? I'm gonna have to stop looking at it because it's making me very annoyed. Let's move on. This next one I want to talk about, this is also just like an oh, I just dropped my phone. This encapsulates how I feel about this entire brand pretty much. And it is the new P. Louise eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure which one, what this is called. But it's fucking massive. And that is my problem with the P. Louise palettes. Because you can get big palettes that are thin, so it's like you can store them, but the P. Louise palettes are like a good like few inches thick. Like that's going to take up an entire drawer. But this is just, there is no need for this. There is no need to have this many eyeshadows in this palette. This could have been edited so far down. This could be a £9 eyeshadow palette in my opinion, and the only shade that I think is actually interesting is that mustard right in the middle. The rest of it is boring. I mean, there's a whole row that just looks like black, so I mean but this is how I feel with a lot of the P. Louise products. They're just like too much. Like the eyeshadow primer, it's so thick and intense. I'd never buy it, I'd never use it. And they released an eyeshadow palette a few weeks ago. I think it's called like the Worldy palette. And that is quite nice, like color story wise. But again, it's so fucking big. If you don't have the space to store it, that's gonna take up your entire desk. Like it's massive. It's so big that it's got like a ribbon in it to hold the mirror up because it's so heavy that it will just like, it will just fall back down. I just think this brand needs a complete packaging revamp because it's just, it's incredibly unattractive. In my opinion, I think it's really unattractive. So this would never be something that would ever work its way into my collection, ever. Last but not least, the last thing I'm going to talk about is not because like I think it's a bad release, but like it doesn't make sense to me. And this is the new Melt Sculpt collection. So they have one Sculpt stack, which is powder, and one that is cream. My question is, why? Okay, each stack goes from light to really deep. So half of each stack you're probably not going to get any use out of, because if you're deep, you're not going to use the light side. If you're light, you're not going to use the deep side. And these are $48 for the, they're both $48. So are you gonna spend $48 to get 3 cream contours or 2 powder contours that you're probably not gonna use? This is where I am. They shouldn't release this as stacked. They should have released these as singles. And maybe if you're like a working makeup artist, then maybe it makes sense to you. But for like the everyday consumer, no one needs cream contours in 5 different shades. They just don't for their own skin. They just need one that works perfectly. And the powder ones as well, like, no one's gonna need all of those. And the pale one is so warm. So if they're supposed to be, you know, oh, that is a bronzer. Maybe someone can explain it to me in the comments, but the reason why I'm putting this in my worst lot is because I just don't understand it. I'm gonna see if any of the comments are agreeing with me. Yeah, so someone commented, actually I would like 2 different stacks, one for light medium and the other for medium dark, with a mix of creams and powders each, so that each person could use all the shades in the stack and to have both powders and creams so that they could layer them. I agree. I concur. Yeah, everyone in the comments is like, it's a great idea, but they should be sold individually, and you know. So that is everything on my little list. What do you think? Do you like this concept more, where I kind of just give you like things that I'm really excited about, things that I'm not excited about, rather than just talking about everything? Because most things I'm kind of neutral on. So just let me know. Like and subscribe if you would like to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Eat good, drink good, take care of yourself. Lots of love. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.